And so the results are in. The Pitbull Cruz fight at 140 pounds, junior welterweight, against Lamont Roach Jr. ended with a majority decision draw. But it wasn't reflective of the action that took place during the fight. It wasn't reflective of what people thought going in, how things may pan out. And so now we have these two fighters poised to maybe be considering getting in against one another for a second go round, a possible rematch. You see, the drama of the fight was the fact that Lamont Roach Jr., who is a champion at junior lightweight, which is 130 pounds, moved up to junior welterweight, 140 pounds, against Pitbull, who was the WBC interim title holder going into this matchup. And it was a pretty darn good fight. We know that the one-dimensional Pitbull Cruz, what he's going to bring to the fight. And he brought exactly that. The series of hooks and bullying and overall overwhelming power shots that he would bring into with his compact frame would put someone the likes of Roach on the back foot. But that wasn't to be the case, because Roach stood his ground and he fought back. Albeit in the third round, he misjudged a left hook from Pitbull and got caught on the chin, which knocked him back across the ring, where he was on his way down to the canvas and touched his glove to the canvas to support himself from falling, and it was ruled a knockdown. That was the point of the fight where Pitbull felt like he would get at him. It was only the third round, and he figured that he would have an opportunity to really jump on Lamont Roach Jr. But lo and behold, Roach got back into the fray and started catching Pitbull's timing. And as he would catch Pitbull coming in with rushes, he was landing his own left hook and punching inside of the wider punches of Cruz. Lamont Roach Sr. was telling his son in between rounds to continue to work his jab and to come up the middle with his shots and straight shots, because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And while Pitbull, who only operates behind a high guard, he looked to try to bull his way in, sometimes throwing low blows, sometimes throwing elbows, doing what he could to get at Lamont Roach. But Roach stood tall in the pocket and fought him off. The only thing that I credit Roach for not doing properly was he didn't utilize the jab in a variant of ways. A shotgun jab would have worked to his benefit better had he sought to catch Pitbull coming in, and as the fight went rounds, Pitbull's peekaboo defense was starting to leave him. So he was catching shots cleaner as he would walk in. Roach was noticed to have said after the fight that he broke his hand, and he thought that he could win a decision even with one hand against Cruz. It was the fifth round that he says that he believes he broke his hand. And Cruz, who now moves on with his record of 28 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, and 18 KOs, is considering a straight runaround return bout against Roach, whose record now is 25 wins, 1 loss, and 3 draws, 10 KOs. These two men faced judges' scorecards, which one judge had Cruz winning 115 to 111, while the other two had it 113 to 113. You see, Pitbull, when he got the knockdown, there was a point deduction for him hitting Roach in the back below the belt. And the judge who scored that round for Cruz, he didn't score the round for Roach, even though Roach won the round, plus had the point deduction. And that's where everything looked really fishy, because you see, if you score the fight properly, you're going to get the results. I had Lamont Roach winning 9 rounds to 3. And Pitbull, though he dropped Roach in the 3rd round, the 4th round I scored it for Roach, coming right back. In other words, he was turning things up because he recognized he was going to be behind with the knockdown. If a judge can't recognize a fighter making that type of an adjustment, he shouldn't be judging a fight, because fighters will do certain things to try to have an impact. And that's something that I did notice about Lamont Roach. He was there to be there. Of the broken hand, he says, I was mixing it up and backing up the pressure fighter. I disrupted him and started winning rounds. And that was after I broke my hand. You can tell by the way he started skating around the ring, trying to change his game plan up. In the 6th round, he threw a jab and I blocked it, and it hurt. I said, it's broken. I still continued to try to throw it, but my hand was really hurting. I'm not trying to make that an excuse. I used everything else that I had, and I succeeded. I got out of the way from his punches and was winning the exchanges. Other than that, I was catching and slipping his punches. I did well enough to win with one hand. All I want is a fair shake. I think I should have won a close victory against Cruz. All I want is a fair shake. That's it. I don't know what I got to do. I don't accept this at all. I clearly thought I won a close fight. I'm tired of this, were the words that Roach had after the fight was over in the ring. Personally, if they're going to fight a rematch, I believe that Roach can improve upon his performance. I don't believe that Cruz can improve upon his performance, but there'll be things that he'll do to try to stay ahead from the onset. But if, again, Roach is able to weather that early storm, the later rounds can belong to him easily. Pitbull Cruz is not going to outbox anyone. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about this fight, and who did you really have winning? Be sincere. Leave comments and let's discuss further. And do you want to see a rematch between these two? Roach looked like he handled the weight of 140 pretty strongly. And it's going to be an amazing feat for him to go back down to 130, which he says he has the intent of doing. I'm not so certain that that's something he should do health-wise, but he has shown us that he is one of the fighters to be considered as a risk taker in the sport. And you have to take your hat off to that. So, leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.